Chapter 46. 46 Return to the Martial Arts Academy. 1 Update. At lunchtime, Lu Guoping returned home. Knowing that Lu Chenju would come, he bought some snacks that children love on the way and handed them to Lu Chenju upon entering the house. Then came the usual nagging. The Yang flame lamp wasn't turned off at night, was it? Lu Chenju asked. No, there were still occasional void things causing trouble in Sioux City according to the news, so we didn't dare turn it off. We're not fools. That's one expense we really can't skimp on. Li Xianghua hurriedly said. Lu Chenju then said, You should spend that 50,000 scholarship. I don't have to worry about food and drink at school, and martial arts supplements are supplied by the state. All I need is a bit of pocket money. Lu Guoping said, You keep it, you earned it. There was indeed a bit of a cash crunch at home recently. Between the Martial Arts Academy, martial arts supplements, and various living expenses and electricity bills, quite a bit had been spent. He did have some large fixed deposits, but the terms weren't up yet. Work hadn't been going well either, as the company was getting on board with the trend of automating with artificial intelligence, the many jobs being replaced, including his tech position, which suddenly wasn't worth much. Cursing didn't change anything, and with nowhere else to go, Lu Guoping stayed put. I don't need it, you keep it, Lu Chenju said with a rather firm tone. As his strength increased and with admission to the martial arts school, his status had risen, and the old couple respected his opinions even more. All right, just tell Mom if you need money. Li Xianghua agreed without waiting for Lu Guoping to speak. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Core must be stable, arms must be agile, legs must be lively. Jai Chuantong himself was demonstrating, coaching the students on their sea-sweeping body technique. Shiruyu was also among the students, listening intently. Du, you give it a try. Okay, teacher. Du stepped onto the wooden post, managing to maintain his position for a full 10 minutes before descending, his face showing delight, and the other students looked on with envy. Brother Du is still amazing. Has he already got the hang of sea-sweeping body? More than that, he might be close to mastery. Apart from Brother Lu, Brother Du is the best. Brother Lu, is he also from our hall? A curious newcomer asked. Yes, Lu Chenju. You're new, so you wouldn't know how incredible Brother Lu is. A low-class root bone. He's made breakthroughs through the 3rd rank in just half a year, and now he's been accepted early into Dragon City Martial Arts University. The newcomer was shocked. Is he really low-class root bone? He's been tested several times, and that's indeed the case. But Brother Lu must have had an epiphany. His comprehension can't be measured by ordinary standards, so he's still a genius. I'm quite close with Brother Lu. I'll send you his WeChat later, and you can add him. We're all from the same martial arts academy. It's good to get to know each other. The students of the martial arts academy started to take pride in knowing Lu Chenju. Remembering Lu Chenju, Du felt even more motivated. He thought about the days he sparred with Lu Chenju with a sense of nostalgia. Will I see him at the Martial Arts Academy again? What's available at the Martial Arts Academy is available at the Martial Arts School. Except for some personal special training needed for martial artists like Huang Hao, most who move on to the Martial Arts University won't, or will rarely, return to the Martial Arts Academy. Keep training, no chit-chat. Jai Chuantong scolded and walked away, mumbling to himself. All of them together don't work as hard as Lu Chenju does. Just at this moment, a figure strode in powerfully. Master, I'm back. Lu Chenju's face beamed with a smile. Seeing this, Jai Chuantong couldn't help but smile and said, You're back, eh? How do you find the Martial Arts University? It's great, but I've missed everyone here. The other students exploded in excitement. Holy shit, Brother Lu is back. It feels like Brother Lu got even stronger in just a week. The new student also eyed Lu Chenju. So this is the man the old students can't stop thinking about. Shiruyu clapped his hands and said, Welcome home, Brother Lu. Lu Chenju replied with joy. Sister, it's been a long time. Have you eaten? I have. A group of people surrounded Lu Chenju, very curious about his experiences at the martial arts school. Lu Chenju did not talk about the confidential stuff, but he shared plenty of ordinary amusing stories. The students were filled with longing. Du was warming up, itching to give it a try. Chenju, let's have a spar. Aside from a few rarely seen community students, He couldn't find a suitable sparring partner in the academy and was eager to scratch that itch. Sure. Shall we go on the wooden stakes? No problem. The two jumped up onto the wooden stakes, and Lu Chenju noticed that Du's movement technique had improved significantly. It seemed he had really worked hard during this period. The determination to break the cauldrons and sink the boats evidently had an effect. With such resolve, there would be no problem getting into Pingjiang Martial Arts University. Du said, I'll use swallow return fist and sea-sweeping body. Lu Chenju thought for a moment. I learned mountain crossing body at the school recently. I'll use that. His sea-sweeping body was already mastered, and it would be too easy against Du. Are you sure? Du asked, puzzled. It had only been a few days since he learned it. He was at best a beginner. Yeah, it's just a spar anyway. Winning or losing doesn't matter. All right then, watch my fist. Du transformed into a diving swallow sweeping across the sea, throwing a powerful splitting punch. In contrast, Lu Chenju moved like a black tiger crossing the mountain through the forest, his feet making a loud clacking noise on the wooden stakes. Bang! The fierce punch almost caused Du to lose his balance, but with his experience, he dodged Lu Chenju's next charging punch and swept a kick towards his opponent's lower body. Nice leg technique. Lu Chenju leaped up, like a tiger jumping a stream, and then kicked towards Du's head, who quickly retreated. The kick shook the wooden stake violently. Lu Chenju landed on it, steady as a tiger, his waist powering up before lashing out again. Bang, bang, bang. With each punch accompanied by his movement technique, his strength grew more ferocious. The explosive sounds of the training clothes snapping signaled the unstoppable force behind each strike, leaving the students awestruck. Is this really the power of a third rank? It feels like Brother Lu has gotten even stronger, and it's only been a week. Snap! Lu Chenju easily dodged Du's attack and followed up with a kick. Despite Du's attempt to block and dissipate the force, it was to no avail. The subsequent flurry of left and right spinning kicks came too fast. He tumbled uncontrollably off the wooden stake. Du rolled upon landing and sprung up, feeling exhilarated and far from embarrassed. After all, Lu Chenju was somebody who got into Dragon City Martial Arts University. Wasn't it normal to be unable to beat him? Great spectacular. As a fifth rank, old Zhang couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. Shiryu also smiled and applauded, thinking, my apprentice seems to have transformed again in just a week. Jai Chuantong felt extremely satisfied in his heart. The martial arts school was worth it. With mountain crossing body, coupled with black tiger fist, Lu Chenju had indeed brought out the true power that tiger form fist should possess. The martial arts school really made a difference. His insight was incredibly sharp. He knew that, both being third rank, even two dust would be no match for Lu Chenju now. The young man hadn't even gone all out. For the Martial Arts Academy's exchange competition in May, old Jai was determined to prevail, regardless of the child of the mighty elephant, or whoever had the true inheritance of Jiang Jiao. In front of Lu Chenju from the martial arts school, they were insignificant. After socializing and sparring with everyone, Lu Chenju followed Jai Chuantong to the martial arts room and said, Teacher, I still want to learn swallow return fist. Jai Chuantong replied, Okay, as long as you can handle it, I'll teach you. Tiger form is a fist technique for short, fierce attacks, but it's not adept at agile fighting. Swallow form will complement that weakness perfectly. Old Jai had been too conservative before. A genius requires the teaching method suited for a genius. Chapter 47. 47 strikes upward to the azure sky and downward sweeps across the green waters. 2 updates. Swallow return fist is the basic fist technique of the swallow form school. Swallows are adept at flying. They soar high into the azure skies and skim low over the clear waters. Their evasive twists and turns are remarkably agile. The mnemonic chant goes, flip and skim the water, support the kidneys and strengthen the waist, dodge and flash the wings, lower the heart to nourish the brain, bore to the heavens to observe the summit, skim the water to watch the feet, draw from the kidney essence, swallow form reigns supreme. Whether it is the common martial arts, swallow return fist, or the true skill level swallow form fist, mastering the above 4 key principles means you have grasped the essence of this fist technique. First, learn the theory when learning to box. Lu Chenju listened attentively, not missing a single detail. Jai Chuantong, teaching his signature skills, was as comfortable and fluent as if it were second nature to him. After the theory, it was time for practical training. Jai Xuantong took Lu Chenju to the wooden pile area. You have already mastered sea-sweeping body, so you can start practicing swallow return fist directly on the wooden piles. It's twice as effective to combine the fist technique with the movement technique, just like when you paired black tiger fist with mountain crossing body. Watch this. Swallow return fist is not considered exclusive martial arts. It has been around since ancient times. Jai Xuantong didn't keep secrets, allowing other students to watch as well. Those who haven't learned it watch closely. Those who have come and review. Du and the others were inwardly thrilled. If it were not for tutoring Lu Chenju, Jai Xuantong seldom gave them personal instruction in regular classes. Usually, Shi Ruyu would substitute, ensuring the value of core classes. Today, they were catching a lucky break. Jai Xuantong, like a soaring swallow, landed on a wooden pile. Swallow return fist consists of 24 movements, of which 16 are best practiced by combining movement technique and footwork. The first movement is golden swallow spreading wings. Lu Chenju watched intently. This is swallow return fist. As Jai Xuantong demonstrated, everyone followed and practiced. Other students who were training also came over. The atmosphere in the martial arts academy was filled with sweat and the spirit of endeavor by the afternoon. Lu Chenju, how well have you learned? Care to demonstrate a few moves for everyone? Jai Xuantong was keen to let his true inheritance showcase itself. Sure, teacher. Lu Chenju stepped onto the pile and began performing swallow return fist. At first, he was a bit awkward and stiff, but when he applied his thinking from black tiger crossing the mountain to his practice, he gradually got the hang of it. In the end, he finished his routine and stood firm. Quite average, I've embarrassed myself. The crowd fell utterly silent. Outsiders may not know, but the students were very clear. Lu Chenju hadn't practiced swallow return fist before at all, had he? To have begun in the afternoon and already grasped the basics was astounding, making those who had taken 10 or even several dozen classes feel inadequate. You call this embarrassing yourself? Du's feelings were mixed again. He had thought he was prepared, but realized it was only because he had underestimated Lu Chenju's potential. In their sparring, Lu Chenju had held back so much. They were simply worlds apart. Jai Xuantong was very satisfied. Not bad, you've learned quickly. The rest of you should learn from Lu Chenju. Flying swallow sea flying, when the movement technique and fist technique are practiced to an advanced level, they are integrated as one. Lu Chenju had just learned the technique and was already performing it better than many who had been taught previously. Indeed, he was a true inheritor. Old Jai felt his judgment was spot on. Lu Chenju looked at the martial arts tree. Swallow return fist, beginner 18%. How fast, I now have no difficulty starting any of these third-rate common martial arts. Who would have thought last year that black tiger fist would take 10 lessons to reach the beginner stage? Cultivation is systematic and holistic. As my cultivation grows stronger and my knowledge of martial arts expands, learning common martial arts will only get easier. Of course, the martial arts tree's contribution is undeniable. Black tiger crossing the mountain, flying swallow sea flying. Lu Chenju had already mastered 2 elephant form routines. Although these were common martial arts, the theory is universal. In the future, with the more profound tiger form fist and swallow form fist, he could also use what he'd learned and achieve a deeper understanding. Just as the spring warms and the swallows return, I should go to Stone Lake Park sometime to watch the swallows skimming the water. Perhaps I can experience that inspirational state again. That wonderful, intoxicating feeling of relying on the black tiger. It was unforgettable for Lu Chenju. With the martial arts tree, perhaps moments of inspiration weren't as elusive as they typically seemed. As long as the right conditions and opportunities were met, they could be replicated. Time had flown by. Lu Chenju was ready to leave. Qin Zheng, this guy, had been talking about hanging out over the weekend, but he got excited when he heard Li Linling was free, hastily asking his senior sister out to watch a movie. He had totally forgotten about their plan. Before departing, Jai Xuantong said, "Study hard, and there will be no problem in next month's Martial Arts Academy exchange competition." "I'll do my best." 100,000 yuan, Lu Chenju was determined to win it. Now that he had enrolled in the martial arts school, he didn't need to worry about basic martial arts supplements, but he was still short of money. Firstly, he needed to support his family expenses, and secondly, as his cultivation improved, The free martial arts supplements provided by the school were not enough. He couldn't always go asking the master for more. He couldn't take others' gifts for granted. In the old days, martial practitioners needed to purchase a large number of precious herbs and supplements to refine great medicine pills. Nowadays, martial arts medicine companies had already created more scientifically formulated supplements. But they all came at a high price. The school only provided the most basic chi-boosting one, 12,000 yuan per box. Some peers from martial arts families or genius classes in universities were taking things like strengthening bones 1, nourishing organ 1, bright god 1, with prices ranging from 10,000 to 100,000 yuan. Before leaving, old Zhang stopped Lu Chenju. Chenju, my app is going live soon. Remember to show your support. I plan to feature you as a key promotional figure. The exchange competition next month is a perfect opportunity. We definitely won't have much of a user base in the beginning. But I have money, and as long as you're willing to join, I'll transfer 100,000 to you up front. Old Zhang was truly keen on entrepreneurship. He would start with a free platform, attract some users, then gradually introduce some paid options, while drawing more exceptional young martial artists to join. He wasn't high-level enough to rub shoulders with the genius circles. But Lu Chenju could. At all costs, he had to get Lu Chenju on board. Lu Chenju didn't immediately agree. I'll think about it. Mainly because we're under closed management, I only have 1 day of free time per week, and I can't just take your 100,000 and do nothing, right? Old Zhang nodded. Think it over. You're not just taking the money for nothing. I believe in your potential and the fame you'll have in the future. If you ever run into trouble, get in touch with me anytime. Thanks. Don't mention it. We're fellow disciples. I've got to do this. The evening in Fangshan was serene and peaceful. Dragon City High School. Lu Chenju returned to the campus. After practicing the heavenly pile on the training field, he noticed a group of students engaged in an excited discussion about something. Only after asking did he learn it was about the summer examination in July. Martial arts high school generally didn't have monthly exams. Because martial studies, unlike cultural classes, don't see much fluctuation month to month. Only during the first 3 ranks might one see noticeable monthly improvements, but it slows down afterward. From the 4th rank and above, it was all about grinding slowly. Hence, there were only 2 important assessments a year. The summer examination in July. The winter examination in January. Failing one assessment would put you on the school's observation list. If you failed twice, you'd be expelled. Martial arts school students consume quite a lot of resources every year. So this was truly a place of survival of the fittest. Unlike some university students living in the ivory towers of academic institutions who just drift along until graduation, then realize they haven't learned anything and can only blame the world. It was only April now, with 3 months to go until the summer examination. The students had already started to feel the pressure. Although Lu Chenju's cultivation rank was one of the lowest, he wasn't worried because the summer examination would assess each individual specifically. As long as you made satisfactory progress in half a year, you would pass. Otherwise, students like him who transferred midway would be at too much of a disadvantage. After finishing his training session and returning to the dormitory, Lu Chenju found a new message. Jai Feiyan, little junior brother, keep up your training. I'm looking forward to seeing your performance at next year's Fangshan Martial Arts meeting, bringing glory to Dragon City Martial Arts University and Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Chapter 48. 48. There are 3 perils in the human world, 3 updates, asking for follows and monthly tickets. Senior sister added Lu Chenju as a friend, but never chatted with him before. Her sudden concern might be due to Jai Xuantong having her bridge ties with the Martial Arts Academy, rallying people's hearts. Thank you, senior sister. After replying, Lu Chenju browsed recent news. He continuously followed the situation at Tehu as well, where no news had emerged for some time. Sioux City had been peaceful during this period, with no new void disasters occurring. Suddenly, a new notification popped up on his phone. Security Department National Bulletin. Recently, in major cities, a group of individuals spreading panic and cult doctrines, endangering public order, has been arrested. The Zia citizens should promptly report such individuals to the police if encountered in daily life, and remain rational. Non-martial artists should avoid direct confrontations with these criminal elements. Lu Chenju sighed internally. Virtual disaster, black calamity, evil calamity. The three scourges are all here. After the incident at Tehu, various events kept emerging. In the darkness untouched by the light, undercurrents swirled, with demons and ghosts rearing their heads. An eventful autumn. Evil calamities have existed since ancient times. If within the black calamity there might be some wrongfully accused martial artists who turned to banditry due to ideological disputes or other reasons, then evil calamities and virtual disasters are purely wicked and evil, universally condemned through the ages. In the face of virtual disasters, fear is the more common reaction, given that void things are not of human origin and are supernatural entities. Clashes between the two sides are, therefore, expected. But cults, being human, worship some so-called true gods, and often go to less educated, remote areas to deceive the vulnerable and infirm. They may even possess some sort of brainwashing ability, constantly growing their influence covertly and barbarically, making them difficult to eradicate. Lu Chenju had also seen some anti-cult pamphlets. The so-called true gods these people worshipped were stranger than the next, bearing no relation to existing religions. Some say calamities of the void and wickedness go hand in hand. Following a virtual disaster, there's always an evil calamity. The emergence of cults must be related to the void realm. To eradicate cults, the root issue lies in the void realm. Unfortunately, currently, technology has only revealed the tip of the iceberg regarding the void realm. For a long time to come, human society won't be able to escape its clutches. Lu Chenju sent a message to his parents, advising them to be safe. Especially wary of those covertly preaching under the guise of delivering packages or food delivery. Upon encountering anyone who's incessantly babbling, don't hesitate, just report them first. Such reporting, as long as it's not baseless, will be taken seriously by the relevant departments. Dazia's crackdown on cults is the harshest, bar none. Some countries not only refrain from suppressing cults, but use them to blind and rule over people, which then leads to notorious international tragedies and condemnation from the international community. Before going to sleep, Lu Chenju thought about Jai Feiyan's words. He consulted Liu Huan in detail about the Fangshan martial meeting, which turned out to be an annual joint competition of 24 martial arts high schools after the winter exams in January. No restrictions on grade, rank, or martial arts. Just no cold weapons. First place wins 5 million, second place 4 million, third place 3 million. As long as you make it into the top 12, you're guaranteed a handsome reward of at least 1 million. The top 30 are guaranteed a minimum of 500,000, and those in the top 100 are guaranteed 2 boxes of Bright God No 1 medicine, worth 200,000. So generous, but to reach the top 12, you'd need at least 7th rank cultivation. In Dragon City, only seniors Yu Shan and Chen Yuan have a chance. The top 100 starts from 5th rank. After getting the details, Lu Chenju wasn't too excited. 9 months from securing 3rd rank to 7th rank was a slim hope, practically zero. Even with something like the martial arts tree, he would be good enough to join the genius class. But the top 100 is still within reach. Bright God No 1 is the hottest product from Martial Medicine Factory, No 6 these years. It's said to make one feel refreshed and sharp, improving martial arts training efficiency for a short period. Even rumored to increase the chances of inspiration. Keep it real for now, I'll just prepare for Dragon City's martial meeting in 3 months. Just reaching the top 30 in our school guarantees a box of nourishing organ No 1, worth 50,000. Lu Chenju was hopeful. As a student, he didn't have many ways to make money. He must actively participate in various school and academy competitions. The next day, Lu Chenju got up early in the morning, practiced Heavenly Pile, then went up the mountain to watch the tigers. The black tiger opened its eyes, dazed, probably wondering why this monkey got up so early for nothing. While observing, Lu Chenju practiced his punches. Unfortunately, by breakfast time, the state of inspiration hadn't come. As expected, it cannot be forced. Lu Chenju wasn't disheartened and went down the mountain to eat. Regardless, with his current progress, he would achieve great success in Black Tiger Fist by the end of the month. There was no need to rush. In the cafeteria, Liu Huan laughed and said, "Chenju, when to see the tiger again, huh?" "Yes." Besides Lu Chenju, everyone else just went on a whim to take a look. Who would smell those animals every single morning? Advancing in martial arts isn't just about watching animals. The intent of the tiger form is to master the essence and profound mysteries of the tiger. It was only Lu Chenju who took it seriously. Huo Tianyu giggled. Chenju, you're so earnest. Faced with his classmates teasing, Lu Chenju wasn't discouraged. He planned to go every day, and if he could experience that moment of inspiration once every few months, it would be worth the trip. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Thank you, Master Jai, for your guidance over this period. I have made a lot of progress, but due to some matters, I probably won't come again. Huang Hao gave Jai Chuntang a bow. Well, no matter what, I wish you a bright future ahead. Jai Chuntang said with a smile, his heart as calm as a still well. Huang Hao turned and left with ease. Although he attended Pingjiang Martial Arts University's affiliated high school, he had ambition and was not content with just Pingjiang Martial Arts University. He wanted to apply for Dragon City Martial Arts University. Only by entering a top-level martial arts university could one catch a glimpse of the world of top fighters. Passing by the training field, Huang Hao saw Qin Zheng and a group of people chatting and fooling around again, but recently he seldom saw that guy Lu Chenju attending. Perhaps he had given up. Maybe it's due to poverty, or perhaps some other reason. He had seen too many martial artists who quit halfway. It's a pity to have such perseverance, but if one doesn't see the light of dawn for a long time, even the most determined person will give up. Perhaps he could succeed in other industries. Just not in martial arts. He knew in his heart that he and the people in this martial arts academy were ultimately from two different worlds. From now on, there would be no future interchange. This is why he had ignored the group invitation from the martial arts academy the master added him to as a formality when he first joined. He completely ignored any friend requests from others in the group. He wasn't cold-hearted. He bore no ill will toward ordinary people. He just felt his time was precious. He didn't want to partake in such useless socializing in this lowly circle. Watching the solitary figure of Huang Hao, Qin Zheng couldn't help but feel irritated inside. So having intermediate root bone makes him so great, huh? I bet he still doesn't know that Lu Chenju has already entered Dragon City High School. Pingjiang Martial Arts University is nothing. Even if he gets into a top martial arts university by luck, he'll find that my good brother was already in there. Just like small geniuses, Lu Chenju didn't have Huang Hao's arrogance. Qin Zheng really couldn't appreciate this neighbor of his. Fengshan Dragon City High School. Time flies and Lu Chenju, training in martial arts, attending classes and making friends through fist techniques in the beautiful campus, felt like time was slipping away, wishing there were 48 hours in a day. The Martial Arts Society group gradually grew quiet as Li Linling entered the final rush of the college entrance examination. Qin Zheng would occasionally come out for a chat, and Lu Chenju would join him when he had time. Before you knew it, April 20th arrived. In the early morning, Lu Chenju reached the tiger garden to practice his punches as usual. Coincidentally, the black tiger was chasing a wild chicken thrown by the feeder, bouncing up and down. After eating and drinking its fill, it agilely jumped onto the artificial mountain, dug its front paws in, lowered its spine, stretched, yawned, and then watched the monkeys outside and itself inside the cage. Man and tiger eyeing each other. Suddenly, the monkey from the perspective of the black tiger seemed overjoyed to start practicing its punches, deeply engrossed. No, this time it didn't seem like a monkey, but rather like itself. Right like tiger, behaving like tiger. The black tiger was perplexed. This monkey was too clever and must have become a spirit. Outside the cage, Lu Chenju, immersed in his fist technique, kept hearing prompt sounds in his mind. Black tiger fist, small success 60%, right arrow small success 64%. Black tiger fist, small success 69%, right arrow small success 70%. After half a month, Lu Chenju finally rediscovered the feeling from that day. He became the black tiger, patrolling the forests, chasing prey, reveling in freedom. After practicing for 2 consecutive hours, he didn't feel tired. It wasn't until he noticed that the inspiration stayed on the leaf of Black Tiger Fist, disappeared that he reluctantly finished and stood still. Black Tiger Fist, small success 77%. A whole 17% progress bar increase in one go. This feeling, as if aided by the gods, is simply too exhilarating. The Tiger Garden is truly my Lu Chenju's cultivation treasure land. His sweat turned into steam, rising off his body. Roar! The black tiger howled once, then gracefully went asleep. Chapter 49. 49 undercurrents surge one more. Lu Chenju went down the mountain to attend class. As the summer exams approached, fewer students visited the zoo area from Martial Arts University, scattered around in different gardens. Just now, who was that? Why does it feel like he's regained his momentum? I don't know, probably a newcomer from Dragon City Martial Arts University. Quite impressive. It seems the Fangshan martial arts meet will be a fierce battle of dragons and tigers. That Chen Yuan from Dragon City High School is very strong. I suspect he has already broken through to the 8th rank. Zhang Dong from Dragon and Tiger High School is also fierce, unbeaten throughout the school. Everyone discussed these prominent figures and gradually dispersed. Chenju went to see the tiger again. Upon arriving at the training grounds, Chachihu stopped Lu Chenju. Yes, teacher. Well, when I told you to watch the tigers, it was just to let you know to learn the essence of the tiger, understand the principle, and that's enough. You don't need to go every day. Chachihu had heard from the students that Lu Chenju went to see the tigers every day. He was worried that Lu Chenju might be overfixating and came to give a reminder. Lu Chenju smiled and replied, I understand what teacher said. I just feel that I still have a lot to learn from the tiger at this stage. When I truly master the essence of the tiger form, I'll stop going. Chachihu pondered for a moment. That makes sense too, go on then. Okay then, teacher, goodbye. Lu Chenju hurried off to class. Chenju, try not to be late next time. Okay, teacher. Lu Chenju returned to his seat, and Liu Huan turned his head to look over. The class monitor was a bit suspicious inside, wondering if Lu Chenju had another moment of inspiration. He probably woke up late. How could one so frequently be in such a state? Inspiration isn't like a menstrual cycle. After class, the homeroom teacher Yu Zheng came in and said, Let me share something. Everyone here knows the situation in Sioux City these past months. It's not very peaceful outside. From now on, try to stay at the school during rest days instead of going home, especially those who live far. Those who live nearby should also be cautious and watch out for suspicious people. Liu Huan asked, Teacher, is it related to the cults? Yu Zheng nodded. Yes, but it's not just the cults. Calamities often come in threes, and cults frequently collude with Black Knights. In any case, you all are still too young. If you accidentally encounter criminals, better to run than trying to be a hero. It's not that the school doesn't support being morally upright, but it's not worth losing future martial artists who are nurtured with great resources, only for them to fall prematurely. Do you all understand? He emphasized again before leaving. Young people are always vigorous. April 27th. In the dormitory, Lu Chenju was drenched in sweat, practicing Heavenly Pile. After finishing, he looked at the martial arts tree. Martial art. Basic boxing, perfection, no regrets. Black Tiger Fist, small success 99%. Mountain Crossing Body, mastery 60%. Swallow Return Fist, mastery 50%. Sea Sweeping Body, mastery 30%. Cultivation Technique. Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile, 5th acupoint opened. In less than a month, his progress was miraculous. Black Tiger Fist was nearly at great success. Mountain Crossing Body and Swallow Return Fist had both reached full mastery, and Sea Sweeping Body had also significantly progressed. Most importantly, the 5th acupoint, Shea's acupoint, was opened. He had just clearly felt an increase in his chi blood. Recently busy with cultivation, he hadn't tested his chi blood. He planned to visit the school's measurement room after achieving great success in Black Tiger Fist. Teacher Hong said that achieving great success in Black Tiger Fist might enable me to comprehend Black Tiger Dark Strength, and reaching perfection will surely allow me to grasp it. Lu Chenju eagerly anticipated this. Dark Strength is the most important ability in the Dark Force realm. Overseas fighters call obvious strength as basic external force skills, dark strength as intermediate internal force skills, and the ultimate transforming strength as high-level easing technique. Obvious strength can also be summoned by ordinary people through instinct, though far less powerful than that of martial artists, but dark strength can only be exhibited by martial artists who practice fighting to profound levels. Dark strength emphasizes stealth and suddenness, exploding in a flash. Its power sources from not only conventional muscle groups, but also internal organs, meridians, vibrating muscles and bones, resonating organs, concentrating all internal and external forces and exploding upon contact with an opponent. Boom! A punch erupts with the force of 1,000 caddies. A sweep with the leg, like the tail of a tiger. In a spar with a master of dark strength, one must always be cautious. What may seem like a simple move could be devastating. Combining the 8 techniques with movement skills, a master of dark strength, when unarmed, could truly take on 10 ordinary adults. Of course, it is often said that a scrappy fighter can defeat a skilled one, and a 4th-rank martial artist might still struggle against many assailants without special hard qigong techniques, making it hard to win without injury, though before falling, those opponents would surely hit the ground first. Minor superficial injuries are inevitable, but severe ones are not. 9 o'clock at night. Before sleeping, Lu Chenju browsed his smartphone. Martial arts halls chat groups were bustling with discussions about a recent murder case. He looked at the message, frowning slightly. The victim was from a nearby high school with a 4th-rank cultivation, killed by a cultist. After investigating, the police captured an incense master from a cult den. They then announced the discovery of a new cult in Sioux City, the Holy Master sect, which worshipped Great Saint Heavenly King. This sect had previously been active in Dazia but seemed to disappear after an official crackdown, only to have quietly spread in Sioux City. The police warned people to stay alert and not be deceived. Those ordinary people deceived by cults often met tragic ends. These cultists really deserve no good death. Does God exist in this world? Lu Chenju would not rashly assert. After all, there are supernatural places like the Void Realm that give birth to malevolent spirits. But he firmly believed that these so-called gods in the mouths of cults are detrimental to humanity, merely seeing humans as targets for exploitation. If human civilization had gods, they would be the martial artists themselves. Of course, this is only the perspective of Dazia. Divine Child Sect, Holy Master Sect, Blue Lotus Society Spirit Reading Club. Lu Chenju opened Dazia's anti-cult official website and found there were currently 7 key targeted cult organizations. It's worth noting that Dazia had previously eradicated 3 other cult organizations. It truly seemed like the wildfire could not fully burn out the weeds. Before sleeping, he looked towards Tehu. The roots of both void and evil calamities were there. The Void Realm. When could humanity eradicate the evil and clear the fog to purify the Jade universe? With the current level of technology and martial arts, it might be a long and heavy task. Better go to sleep then, I'm just a high school student. Chapter 50, 50 Dark Force 2 more updates. A dreamless night. At dawn, the sky began to brighten. It was the perfect time for martial arts training. Upon waking, Chenju immediately headed towards Fangshan. In front of the tiger garden there was not a soul in sight, and the black tiger lay there, its eyes wide open. But its eyes were not closed, it seemed to be waiting for something. Soon the figure of Chenju appeared. The black tiger knew that monkey had come again. Brother Tiger, thanks to you, I was able to advance my black tiger fist to this level in just 1 month. I rushed off yesterday and forgot to thank you, Chenju said to himself. Having spent lots of time together, he even found the black tiger quite handsome. Roar! The black tiger let out a deep growl. Chenju tried hard to recall the state of inspiration he had felt before, but the feeling was slow to come. He practiced his fist technique on the spot for an hour, then descended the mountain. The 29th cloudy weather. The monkey had come again. The black tiger was numb to it. Eventually, Chenju returned without achieving anything. His mindset was good, methodically cultivating. It was best when inspiration came, but its absence did not stop him from fully mastering Black Tiger Fist in the next few days. The 30th still cloudy. The monkey had been coming for almost a month. The black tiger wondered how long it could keep this up. May 1st clear weather. Early in the morning. Dragon City High School. Today was a day off. The students either went home or made plans to hang out, and those practicing martial arts also needed to relax from time to time. Chenju heard some of the boys in his class were no longer virgins. Except for a few special martial arts disciplines, most did not require a pure yang body. Chenju did not go anywhere and did not return home. He called his family every day. At the Martial Arts Academy, there was nothing special. It was just that teacher Zhang asked Chenju about that app, and Chenju said he would consider it after advancing to 4th rank. With his current weak strength, no one would hire him as a personal trainer. After completing the daily martial arts knowledge quiz and practicing heavenly pile and movement techniques, Chenju spent the morning at the zoo, planning to break through in one go. When the black tiger saw the monkey appear to be staying put, it kept its distance and watched Chenju practice his punches. It felt that this monkey was increasingly exuding a tiger's flavor. The sun set in the west, the remnants glowing red as blood. Unconsciously, it had reached dusk. The first breakthrough attempt was indeed challenging. Other people don't have a martial arts tree and can't see their own progress. Facing such breakthrough obstacles, long-term hard training without success, that's truly despairing. No wonder many people give up on martial arts after being stuck at third rank for years. The Black Tiger Fist was indeed not comparable to basic boxing. Martial arts are difficult, as challenging as reaching the heavens. Dark Force was truly the first major threshold on the path of a martial artist. After excessive training over the last few days, Chenju felt somewhat fatigued. He felt he was just a step away from a breakthrough and persisted to go through the routine again. Black Tiger crossing the mountain, absolutely unrestrained. He put all his energy into combining the 36 forms with mountain crossing body, fiercely displaying them in the Tiger Garden. Occasionally, passers-by noticed it was Chenju and shook their heads as they left. During this period, the Tiger Garden had gained Dragon City's Tiger Maniac. This person practically wanted to live and eat with the tigers all day. Then someone discovered this person was a transfer student who had just arrived at the beginning of the month, with low-class root bone. People then understood why he was trying so hard. Lacking in talent, he made up for it with effort. Roar! Black Tiger watched Lu Chenju boxing and was actually mesmerized. He saw a monkey darting around outside the garden, leaping like a tiger, landing like a tiger. Each punch thrown was like a hungry tiger pouncing on its prey, and every kick swung out like a tiger's tail sweeping across. For a moment, it even mistook this monkey for one of its own kind. Lu Chenju was lost in his boxing, using the trees in the garden as wooden dummies, continuing until the last move. Black Tiger breaking army. Bang! Caught up in the emotion, Lu Chenju jumped several meters forward and struck a tree trunk as thick as a bowl. His entire body shivered, and his bones and organs vibrated simultaneously. In an instant, an incredible force surged out from his palm like a tidal wave. Roar! It was as if a tiger's roar echoed through the mountains in his mind. Boom! Crack! The tree trunk as thick as a bowl gave off a crisp sound, and a visible crack appeared on it, about 1 foot long and an inch deep. Boundless green leaves rustled down. They were shaken down by the tremendous force, and at this moment, Lu Chenju's calloused, leather-like palms were red and hot. The rebound of that strike was not light. He ignored the pain, barely concealing his excitement. Is this Dark Force? Haha, I did it, I succeeded. Hong Fu had not deceived him. Upon achieving great success in Black Tiger Fist, there was a chance to comprehend Dark Force without waiting to reach perfection. Lu Chenju, drenched in sweat, looked towards the martial arts tree. Black Tiger Fist, great success 1%. Half a year's time, great success in Black Tiger Fist. When I threw that palm strike, my bones and organs vibrated simultaneously, and it seemed like new forces emerged from the 5 already open acupoints. My chi blood, though not yet at the 4th rank, is quite close. Dark Force was the most crucial special ability at the 4th rank. This was why the Dark Force realm completely overwhelmed the peak of the Ming Power realm. It wasn't just a slight difference in chi blood, but in Dark Force. Lu Chenju at the 2nd rank could defeat Du beyond his level, but it was impossible for him at the 3rd rank to defeat a 4th rank opponent. There was a world of difference. Lu Chenju looked at the leaves of Mountain Crossing Body. To his surprise, they flickered, exceptionally noticeable. Inspiration, double the effect. Mountain Crossing Body, proficient 90%. Wait, did I inadvertently trigger the inspiration of Mountain Crossing Body while I was boxing just now? How unlucky, I have no strength left. Lu Chenju sat on the ground and quickly adjusted his breath. After pondering for a moment, he took the chi-boosting 1 medicine that he carried with him. This bottle should have been kept for next week, but not to waste the inspirational state, he took half of it now, rapidly recovering his physical strength. Under the forced stimulation of the medicine, he stood up again 10 minutes later. Overexerting the body is actually not advisable. But today was exceptional. States like this are rare. I will try to avoid it in the future, and I should consider my capacity. Under Black Tiger's attention. Lu Chenju resumed his martial arts training, and Black Tiger was also shocked. If it were in his place, it would have been exhausted long ago. This monkey's toughness was too strong. In the school, classmates were gradually returning home. Liu Huan passed by Lu Chenju's dormitory and knocked on the door. No response, he must be out. This guy, he really works hard. In the martial arts school, not many are lazy. But like Lu Chenju, who works to the extreme, he hadn't seen many in his life. This guy was incredible. Regardless of whether Lu Chenju could get into Dragon City Martial Arts University in the future, he sincerely admired this person. The night was deep, 9 o'clock. Lu Chenju was still practicing mountain crossing body. Black Tiger had already returned to its nest. Behind the zoo on the hillside, a sign hung saying Director's Office. A middle-aged man with an old face and graying hair, about 1.8 meters tall, wearing a normal outfit, finished practicing Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile and casually stretched his muscles. He yawned and sighed. Heavenly Pile takes so much effort. When will opening acupoints ever end? With every move, all 450 of his acupoints buzzed within him. His majestic presence scattered the night clouds, and a thick and fierce image of a 5-clawed golden dragon emerged from his vast chi blood, coiling behind him, the dragon's roar echoing among the stars. He glanced downward inadvertently, peering into the distance, and raised his eyebrows. Hey, why is that kid still out there? Chapter 51. 51 Director Wang 3 more updates, asking for monthly tickets and followers. The middle-aged man was indeed aware of Lu Chenju, for this youngster came to the zoo daily without fail, always lingering in front of the tiger garden to watch the tigers. Even the old tiger must feel uncomfortable being stared at day and night. With exceptionally keen eyesight, he could see clearly despite the 3-kilometer distance to the tiger garden. Lu Chenju's forehead was dotted with sweat the size of beans, and 7 droplets fell within 10 seconds. As a breakthrough fourth shackles expert, his senses were superhuman compared to ordinary people. If he so wished, he could grasp every minute detail within the entire zoo. He's practicing mountain crossing body, he noted. The teachings of Cha Chihu are not bad. He's already nearing the mastery realm. Let me check his information. The middle-aged man walked over to his desk and found Lu Chenju's profile. After reading it, his eyes flickered, and when he looked back at the young man below the mountain, it was with a look of admiration. To advance mountain crossing body from beginner to mastery in 1 month, such talent. If he were placed in Galaxy Martial University, it would not be out of place. Unfortunately, Dragon City Martial Arts University got to him first, otherwise I would have had to get him into Galaxy Martial University. Wait, his chi blood is also verging on 4th rank. The records say he only reached 3rd rank at the end of March this year. He's nearing a breakthrough in just 1 month. He grew solemn. Low-class root bone, even with top-class comprehension, would find it very difficult to break from 3rd to 4th in 1 month. Even I, Wang Jidao, took over a month to overcome this obstacle. Could this youngster possess the talents of a martial bone Dao embryo? Otherwise, how could he be faster than me? Is that reasonable? Wang Jidao, the gold dragon of casting stars. A disciple from the Wang family of Guangdong. He was born extraordinary, with top-class root bone and good comprehension. He broke the first shackles before his coming of age, broke the second by the time he reached his prime, and third in his preordained years. In his old age, he conquered the 4th shackles. Having just celebrated his 100th birthday, he was one of the 4 great grandmasters in the Guangdong Wang family and also a professor at Galaxy University. He now wondered if the review committee at Dragon City Martial Arts University had misjudged. This Lu Chenju, it shouldn't be just a sudden enlightenment. Or rather, at the time of the initial assessment, it indeed was a sudden enlightenment, but now he has grown even further. Whoever experienced such an enlightenment and managed to break from 3rd to 4th in 1 month, who managed to train Black Tiger Fist from small success to great success within 1 month. Initially glancing casually whilst practicing his martial arts, Wang Jidao never expected to be slightly shaken by a young man just starting out. He noticed the cracks on the trunk of the nearby tree caused by a single palm strike. Wang Jidao narrowed his eyes slightly. Well done, he has even preemptively grasped Dark Force. Upon understanding Dark Force, a slight honing of Chi blood would lead to a breakthrough to 4th rank. Someone with Chi blood at the peak of 3rd rank, who has comprehended Dark Force, can easily defeat someone who just entered 4th rank without the understanding of Dark Force. With a pensive expression, Wang Jidao murmured to himself, I wonder if it's possible to persuade him to join Galaxy Martial University. A moment later, his figure flickered, soaring into the air, stepping on treetops with such ease that a single leap carried him 100 yards before he softly landed on the next treetop. After completing the last sequence of mountain crossing body, Lu Chenju collapsed to the ground with a thud, utterly exhausted. He looked up at the night sky. The city's canopy lacked stars, and he wondered if it was a trick of his eyes, but he thought he saw a rainbow streak through. It's probably a drone. Fangshan region was a heavily guarded area of Sioux City, constantly monitored by drones. Upon detecting any intruders, martial artists would be dispatched to deal with them. On the martial arts tree, the leaves representing mountain crossing body had dimmed. Mountain crossing body, proficient 100%, right arrow mastery 1%. Breaking 2 martial arts disciplines in a single day. Lu Chenju felt relieved. His improvements over the past few days had been tremendous. Having almost perfected Black Tiger crossing the mountain, great success level fist technique coupled with mastery level movement technique, and the power of dark force, he was almost certain to win the Martial Arts Academy exchange competition. The prize of 100,000 yuan would alleviate his family's urgent financial strains. He now had the confidence to encourage Lu Guoping to work less overtime. I'll go check my chi blood tomorrow morning. I should be in 4th rank by then. According to the official website of the Martial Arts Association, it stated that one can achieve 4th rank chi blood only after perfecting Black Tiger Fist, but that calculation doesn't take into account the bonus from the Heavenly Pile or other martial arts disciplines. Lu Chenju, now having opened 5 orifices and perfected basic boxing, also practiced swallow form fist, all of which contribute some bonus effects, though not simply additive. The chi blood enhancement from the first martial arts discipline at the same level of breakthrough is the greatest. The effect still persists for subsequent disciplines, but it diminishes gradually until it becomes negligible. Essentially, martial arts is an extremely sophisticated form of fitness, using mysterious fist moves to repeatedly tear and heal the human body, stimulating the rise of chi blood, also known as body refining. Once Black Tiger Fist is perfected, other low-level fist techniques of the same class cause the marginal effect on the body, similar to a bench press. Once adapted to lifting 100 kilograms, one must increase the weight to continue to stimulate the body, to break through personal limits, or else one remains stagnant in a comfort zone, unable to make progress. Martial arts is like rowing against the current. If you do not advance, you will fall back. Comparatively, though the flying swallow sea sweeping routine is third-rate, it still provides a decent enhancement to Lu Chenju's chi blood. That's because tiger form embodies the fierce and short-range combat boxing style, while swallow form is about the agile, long-range wandering boxing style. These 2 factions focus on stimulating different areas of the body and have little overlap, allowing them to form perfect complements to one another. If Lu Chenju's supplementary boxing style were the leopard form or the lion form, the benefits would have been much less. Therefore, for the elephant form faction's regular martial arts cultivation, there is no need to be greedy in the early stages. Just choose one that you love, that suits you, and follow it all the way. Even if you practice multiple styles, they should complement each other. The most famous complementary fist technique to the tiger form is the crane form. The renowned tiger and crane dual form fist is based on this principle. Lu Chenju's martial arts planning is very clear. Before becoming a martial artist, he must focus on tiger form, with swallow form as a complement. He will not touch any other forms. Swallow form, he has no intention of delving deep into it for now. Bringing swallow return fist and sea sweeping body to perfection is enough. If he becomes a martial artist, he will quickly learn ordinary martial arts, and only then will he consider rapidly mastering some other fist techniques to nurture the divine seed and enhance comprehension, which is another matter altogether. Whoosh! At this moment, hundreds of meters above in the night sky, a figure as light as a feather stood atop a palm-sized reconnaissance drone, and it was Wang Jidao. Even though martial arts grandmasters cannot traverse the void with wind control, relying on unimaginable movement techniques in Qigong, navigating through the world on various flying objects is not difficult. To soar high upon a goose and descend with the legendary Tathagata divine palm is merely a trifle. Leaping 100 jang high feels quite akin to flying. Wang Jidao, looking down at the exhausted Lu Chenju, said with a smile. This kid is really giving his all, a point where I fell short in my younger days. Being able to achieve a breakthrough realm in a month relies heavily on extreme effort, but that's still not enough. He fell freely, quickly descending. The mountain wind caused his robes to flutter noisily. In the moment before he touched the ground, an invisible aura exploded. Using this clever burst of energy, Wang Jidao gently landed. With a wave of his sleeve, he darted above Lu Chenju's head in a flash. Lu Chenju, who was gazing up at the stars, was startled. Where did this person come from? Could it be a void thing? The newcomer's appearance was both handsome and mature, with silver at his temples, reminiscent of the one-armed hero from those wuxia novels, and he emitted a vast, authoritative aura. Not a void thing, but a martial artist. Very powerful. Beyond the breakthrough first, shackles, Lu Chenju could not sense the specifics of his strength, but instinctively felt that this person was the strongest he had encountered to date. Of course, he meant in person. He remembered Yu Zheng mentioning that in the mountains, there was a secluded predecessor who had broken through the third shackles breaker. All at once, he did a carp flip to stand up, then stood erect and saluted. Disciple Lu Chenju greets Master Wang. Apart from the cast-iron golden dragon, Wang Jidao, there should be no other martial arts grandmaster in Fangshan. Most people have never seen this powerhouse, but he would occasionally act as a judge for Fangshan's martial meetings and offer guidance to younger generations if he felt inclined. Wang Jidao nodded slightly and asked, "So late, and yet you haven't returned to your dormitory." Lu Chenju spoke frankly. "The student wishes to practice tiger fist here while watching the tigers." Wang Jidao saw that Lu Chenju looked weak and obviously depleted and reminded him. Too much can be as bad as too little. Martial arts training should not consume potential. If you pursue rapid progress too eagerly, you will inevitably fall into the evil martial path, damaging your foundation. He began to understand why Lu Chenju was improving so fast. The heat in his heart cooled slightly. Lu Chenju respectfully said, "Thank you for the teaching, Master Wang. It's just that during training, I entered the zone and couldn't help myself, so I took a supplement at the risk of depleting my body to continue practicing." "What sort of state? Was it inspiration?" "Yes. That's somewhat understandable." Wang Jidao stroked his chin, lost in thought. To enter the zone, within a month of joining the martial arts school was quite something. This explained the rationality behind his progress a bit more. Otherwise, his top-class root bone would seem a bit dense. Chapter 52. 52 Martial Arts Grandmaster lived for 5 periods of 60 years. Wang Jidao asked Lu Chenju many questions about cultivation, and Lu Chenju did not dare to hide anything, nor could he, nor was there any need. He wanted to showcase his talents to obtain more resources. Before him was a grandmaster, and the opportunity was right in front of him. In the whole of Su City, there were not many stronger than Wang Jidao. A grandmaster is highly regarded across the Xia, generally holding important national positions and having a say in major affairs. Getting familiar would be incredibly beneficial. Wang Jidao probably knew what Lu Chenju was thinking. He was definitely taking this opportunity to show himself, to make an impression. The other students reacted similarly when they met him. He did not mind this, as in this era, ordinary people practicing martial arts needed to become famous. It was true that gold would always shine, but if it was too late, it would be as irrelevant as a dish of cold leftovers. Wang Jidao thought for a moment and said, "Go back to the dormitory. Try not to stay up on the mountain too late in the future. It increases the pressure on me to keep watch, and even I, a centenarian, need to sleep." Hearing this, Lu Chenju was inwardly shocked. Master Wang is 100 years old yet still has the appearance of a middle-aged man. The rumor that grandmasters have an average lifespan of 5 scores is indeed true. 100 years old for a grandmaster really is just his prime. Moreover, at such a profound and mysterious level of martial arts, they have long stabilized their essence and age without leakage. Their appearance remains youthful, and even close to death, they can almost maintain their peak chi-blood state. The saying, "fearing the vigor of youth," really doesn't apply to a grandmaster. He once again bowed and said, "Goodbye, Master Wang." Lu Chenju's figure disappeared down the mountain path. Wang Jidao stroked his chin and thought, how should I coax him into applying for Galaxy Martial University? He now knew that the reason Lu Chenju advanced so quickly in breakthroughs might primarily be due to a sudden surge of fortune-inspired rapid progress, which was hard to sustain. But he still thought this young man had great potential. He liked him. This guy should belong to Galaxy Marshall University, and if he performed exceptionally well, he could even take him as a true inheritance. A Grandmaster's true inheritant holds a prestigious status. Even just at the entry level, ordinary martial artists would have to treat them with great respect. The night was like water. Wang Jidao stood still like a pine tree, silent. This kid was discovered by Dragon City Martial Arts University, and in all likelihood, he will apply there for the college entrance exams. But my Galaxy Martial University is the first among the 9 great universities of Dazia. Moreover, figures like the Kangshan Dragon King Li Ang also hail from Galaxy Martial University. He had looked over the information. Lu Chenju admired the Kangshan Dragon King. Perhaps I can use this point, subtly hinting to the kid that Kangshan Dragon King was my cohort at Galaxy Martial, and we trained together. Wang Jidao already had a plan in his mind. It clearly would not be proper to openly snatch someone from Dragon City Martial Arts University, as Lu Chenju was discovered by them, but gradually changing Lu Chenju's mind, so that he himself chooses to apply to Galaxy Martial University at the time of the high school exams. Who would know it was Wang Jidao's doing? According to the martial arts department regulations, any high school student from a martial arts school subsidiary can freely choose their university preference during the entrance exams, without interference from the main martial arts universities. However, considering that the martial arts schools' medicines and teachers all come from the head martial arts universities, if students apply to a university outside of their affiliated martial arts university, they need to pay twice the cost of the martial arts supplements they used throughout their school period as compensation. Top martial universities also give some preferential treatment or bonus points during the entrance exams to their own affiliated high school students, which is why few apply to other schools. Dragon City High School campus, dormitory. After returning, Lu Chenju soaked in the bathtub, deep in thought. This time was indeed fortunate, getting to know a martial arts grandmaster early. I'll continue training at the zoo, striving to perform well and perhaps reap some benefits. He also knew that the Kangshan Dragon King hailed from Galaxy Martial University and was the same age as Master Wang, both centenarians. But the Dragon King had already broken through the 7th shackles. Breaking through at 100 was currently the fastest pace recorded for human breakthroughs. Unprecedented, and likely unmatched for a long time to come. Talents emerge through generations, each dominating for centuries. The philosophy of the all-nations martial arts competition is faster, higher, stronger. Lu Chenju believed that one day in the future, someone would surpass the Kangshan Dragon King. That said, Lu Chenju indeed had some thoughts about Galaxy Martial University, partly because of the Kangshan Dragon King, but more importantly because it is the foremost among the 9 great universities of Dazia. Being number 1 certainly must have its reasons. But I was discovered by teacher Jai and the seniors at Dragon City Martial Arts University. It would seem a bit ungrateful if I ended up applying to Galaxy Martial University. Besides, I am currently most interested in elephant form, and Dragon City Martial Arts University is the premier institution for elephant form fist. Choosing a martial arts university, reputation is important, but specialty is even more so. Lu Chenju no longer thought about these distant matters. One step at a time. After all, both schools are formidable. With my modest talent, even Master Wang might not appreciate it. Don't get your hopes up too high. He had just lain down when a knocking sound came from outside the door. Chenju, are you asleep? No. It's me, Liu Huan. Lu Chenju got up to open the door. Liu Huan observed the weary-looking Lu Chenju. Did you visit the zoo again last night? Yes, what's the matter? I was chatting with a friend from Magic City Martial Arts University today. He said a student in their grade was warned by the school for trying to disrupt the cultivation of students from Dragon City High School at the zoo a while ago. When I checked the date, wasn't that the day you got inspiration? You should be more careful in the future. It must have been me. I was so engrossed in practicing my fist that I didn't notice. The evil in human nature is pervasive. This is a typical case of not wanting others to do well. He considered himself to have a good temper, yet he couldn't suppress the silent anger within. Even with the martial arts tree, He only experienced the awakening of inspiration twice after rushing to the zoo for a month, each time bringing rapid improvements. If it was disrupted, he would waste even more time. In the path of martial arts, every second is a battle. The more he thought about it, the angrier Lu Chenju got, and he asked sternly, "Monitor, do you know the name of that person?" After asking around, yes, Yi Zio from the freshman class, 4th rank. Yi Zio, the name sounded quite pleasant. Lu Chenju already memorized this person's name. Of course, now being a society governed by law, he wasn't going to do anything drastic, but it was necessary to be cautious. If he encountered this person in the future, he must stay on guard. If there was a chance, he would definitely teach him a lesson. Chenju, don't act impulsively. That person has already been punished. They cut off his martial arts supplement supply for 3 months. It's a case of stealing a chicken only to end up losing the rice. Liu Huan, recalling something, added, "By the way, it was Brother Chen Yuan who applied for the surveillance footage that day. I think he was the one who reported it to the school. You just remember that. Don't go out of your way to thank him. Brother Chen is modest and always prefers to do good without seeking recognition." Lu Chenju pictured the senior who resembled a Taoist. "All right, I understand." He also voiced a long-standing doubt. "Is Brother Chen a Taoist?" Liu Huan chuckled. "I thought the same initially, but later I found out that Brother Chen actually wants to apply to Dragon and Tiger Academy, the foremost among the Seeking Tao institutes. He is devoted to the Tao, so he calls himself Pine Crane Hermit, and others call him He Daisy. However, Brother Chen is the top martial arts prospect in our high school, and the school doesn't want to let him go." Lu Chenju suddenly realized. He remembered when he added Brother Chen on WeChat and saw the signature. "Practicing till his form resembles the crane, beneath 1,000 pines holds twin scriptures. I've come to seek the Tao without much to say, with clouds in the blue sky and water in the jug." So Brother Chen is a man of aspiration. Lu Chenju sincerely admired. Liu Huan whispered finally, "Chenju, you've just arrived, and you might feel that our classmates are all decent. Firstly, because you're lucky, this batch of students indeed possesses good character. In the past, incidents of schoolmates harming each other have occurred at Dragon City High School, but they were concealed to protect the school's image. Secondly, we're all from the same school, and Dragon City Martial Arts University with the teachers repeatedly stressed to prevent any malicious competition within the school. However, whether it's the 24 School Alliance or other martial arts universities, the level of covert competition is much more intense than we students can imagine. To some extent, martial arts universities are like the feudal dynasties of old ruling their respective territories, only that the ancient battles are replaced by more civilized forms of overt and covert struggles in modern society. In the path of martial arts, from the individuals to the martial arts universities, and even the Zia and nations abroad, all strive. They compete for resources, for talents, for everything. Incidents like that with Yi Zio have occurred many times before, so always be vigilant. Chapter 53, 53 Evil Martial Arts. Liu Huan closed the door to Lu Chenju's dorm room. He whispered, "I heard that to discipline the student from Magic City High School, our Dragon City principal took the surveillance video and confronted them for a long time. It almost escalated to involving both universities' headquarters. In the end, it was only because Grandmaster Wang stepped in that Magic City High School back down." Wang Jidao, Lu Chenju had just met this Grandmaster tonight. He hadn't realized he had already secretly helped him once. Grandmaster Wang's favorability +1. Lu Chenju sighed. This kind of matter was indeed difficult to prove. If the person insisted that he was unaware of inspiration striking, harbored no subjective malice, and merely wanted to greet and get to know the tiger fist practicing Lu Chenju, what could he say? At most, it was merely negligence. Therefore, the Magic City side did not take the route of punishing him for intentionally destroying opportunity. That would not just mean deducting 3 months' worth of martial arts supplements. If it were serious, it might even require expulsion. Damaging inspiration striking is a minor issue, but a flawed character is a major one. The top martial university has a very low tolerance for malicious disposition among students. Otherwise, even if they might succeed in martial arts one day, if they ever do something that tarnishes the school's reputation, the negative impact would far outweigh the positive. The thing Pingjiang Martial Arts University most regretted over the years was probably cultivating the immortal binding hand, Tang Zheng, a villain of 10 lifetimes. Liu Huan said, "I have nothing else. just a reminder for you to be careful in the future. However, such inspiration-striking incidents are once in a millennium. Liu Huan thought this might not happen again, as many people never experience it even once in their lifetimes. Thank you, class leader. You should rest early too. Good night. Lu Chenju sincerely thanked the class leader. He was indeed lucky. Whether in the martial arts academy or the martial arts school, his classmates were all harmonious and friendly, much better than he had anticipated. But beyond school, in society, the evil and darkness in man never disappeared. Yi Zio. Lu Chenju opened the memo on his phone. He set up a password-protected folder, naming it Special Attention. Then he recorded this person's name. This person he would remember for a lifetime. Whoever ruins my martial arts opportunity, I will never forgive. May 2nd. When he woke up in the morning, his body still felt incredibly sore. Alas, I shouldn't overexert my body too lightly. Today I'll just practice stance lightly, go through some punches to rest and recuperate, and train properly tomorrow. Nevertheless, he would not regret it for breaking through the dark force. That day, Lu Chenju didn't push himself too hard. He took this opportunity to thoroughly go over the compulsory courses he had fallen behind on. Martial arts college entrance exams weren't just about physical skills, but also included exams on knowledge related to martial arts. In today's society, one couldn't practice martial arts if they were illiterate. The same went for college, and even after graduation. The path of martial arts was an ongoing process of learning. After nurturing himself for a day, Lu Chenju also visited the school's infirmary to buy some common martial arts medicines to replenish his deficiencies, which were quite expensive. Just one bottle of qi-returning and body-correcting pills cost 5,000 yuan, containing only 6 pills, enough for just 2 days. Fortunately, the medicinal effect was good. The next day, Lu Chenju felt his body had mostly recovered, supported by martial arts supplements and having only slightly overtaxed himself, so he recovered quickly. If the strain had been severe, it might have led to permanent damage to his martial arts foundation, which would have been a loss not worth the cost. In earlier times, some evil path martial arts used the method of infinitely stimulating the human body to achieve quick success. The advantage was rapid progression, far exceeding that of ordinary people, but it cost future potential for improvement, and it was guaranteed to shorten one's lifespan and end badly. De Zia vehemently prohibited evil path martial arts. Any university, martial arts hall, or individual must not privately teach. Once discovered, they would be listed on the blacklist at minimum, or at worst, become a black knight and be imprisoned in the martial prison. The martial prison is specifically for detaining black knights. Once inside, one's martial arts career would be ruined. Regarding evil martial arts, they were also banned, with many unique copies destroyed. Naturally, some might still be scattered around, but they wouldn't make much impact. During the public course period, Lu Chenju came to the training ground. The teachers at the school who mastered various elephant form martial arts were teaching everyone at the moment. A crowd surrounded each teacher, but Cha Chi, who had the most followers, tiger form martial artist enthusiasts surpassed those of other factions by far. Of course, the widely recognized strongest faction was Dragon Form. Dragon Form started off as first-class martial arts. The regular curriculum's pace was to learn second-class martial arts in junior year, advance to first class in senior year. First-class martial arts were powerful but difficult to enter, and if one's realm was low, there was no need to learn it as it would be a waste of time. It was better to lay the foundation with third-class martial arts and then gradually increase the difficulty. However, if one's talent far surpassed their peers, special circumstances required special handling. Cha Chi demonstrated 2 martial arts routines of Black Tiger crossing the mountain, completely on the wooden stakes for everyone. Lu Chenju watched attentively, looking for his own shortcomings. In the end, he found that, just discussing Black Tiger Fist, although he was not as smooth as the teacher, he had no flaws at all. Flawlessness was great success. Anyone who still doesn't know or wants to demonstrate for me to give pointers, hurry up on the stakes. Do not waste everyone's time. If not, then I'll leave. Cha Chi asked. As a martial artist, he had plenty of his own cultivation homework. He could not waste all his time teaching. I will. Liu Quanhai confidently jumped onto the stakes. Fellow classmates, excuse my performance. He appeared humble, but inside he was proud. Liu Quanhai was also a transfer student, who began practicing Black Tiger Fist after a sudden realization at age 14, and now in under 3 years, he was already approaching great success. He had also successfully advanced from a beginner to proficient in mountain crossing body in just over a month, clearly riding high. Even alongside those with intermediate root bone. I Liu Quanhai am no less. He fluidly completed one routine, steadily stepping off the stakes. Transferred students in the crowd could not help but cast envious glances his way. As a fellow low-class root bone, their progress was far behind Liu Quanhai's, causing them some worry about this year's summer exams. Not bad, you have improved quite a bit since I first taught you. The usually strict Cha Chu tried to show a kind smile as he encouraged him. Liu Quanhai clenched his fists and confidently smiled towards his classmates around. I did average. I hope to receive more advice from everyone in the future. Though he spoke modestly, his heart swelled with some self-satisfaction. Being a low-class root bone and still achieving such results certainly meant he was a comprehension genius. The classmates also politely applauded. Afterward, quite a few more students went up to practice, all falling short of Liu Quanhai's performance, and Cha Chihu advised them to practice more as hard work could make up for lack of talent. Speaking of hard work, his gaze suddenly turned to Lu Chenju. This guy, who watched Cha Chihu's demonstrations intently every day, could be deemed the hardest working student in high school, but it was unknown if he had improved lately. Lu Chenju, would you like to demonstrate? Lu Chenju was also hesitating among the crowd. He had already achieved great success without flaws. The next step was to refine his skills to perfection. Realistically, the teacher couldn't offer much guidance. But he thought for a moment and then said, "Yes, teacher, I'll give it a try." Chapter 54, 54 Key Focus List, requesting monthly ticket. Lu Chenju transformed into a black tiger, pouncing onto the stakes with such speed that he kicked up a gust of wind, even lifting the bangs of a female student nearby. Wow, impressive. The female student's eyes widened in surprise. Lu Chenju had only been there for a month, was quite reserved, not very sociable, always practiced his boxing alone, and was hardly seen. Some of the girls in the class didn't even know his name. Cha Chu's eyes suddenly lit up. This feeling, has he mastered the dark force? He continued to observe, unable to make a definite judgment yet. Lu Chenju was singularly focused, envisioning himself as the black tiger in a mountain forest. No matter how his legs and movement technique changed, his waist remained as steady as an untoppling grandmaster. Each step he took caused the shaking wooden stakes to emit dull booming sounds, his hand and foot movements swift as wind. Everyone watched intently as Lu Chenju practiced his boxing, until he finished and adjusted his breathing, standing firm like a large cat landing on the ground. The crowd was left somewhat longing for more. Cha Chu's gaze grew even brighter as he stared at Lu Chenju and asked, "Have you achieved great success in Black Tiger Fist?" Lu Chenju nodded. "Just had a breakthrough." Cha Chu instructed everyone to continue practicing. "Lu Chenju, come to my office." "Okay, teacher." Lu Chenju followed with an expressionless face. Back in the training area, everyone was still reminiscing about his performance. He has been here for less than a month since transferring, and he already achieved great success in Black Tiger Fist. Is he joking? What is Lu Chenju's story? I don't know, perhaps he was already at small success. Definitely. But wait, I remember during a meal, he mentioned he started practicing Black Tiger Fist last October, which means he mastered a fist technique from beginner to great success in 7 months. Wow, only someone with top-class root bone could progress like that, right? Precisely, I recall Brother Chen Yuan achieved great success in Song Fist in just 7 months too, and that was considered the limit for those with intermediate root bone. Lu Chenju had certainly surprised his classmates with a glimpse of his skill. If he had been known to have top-class root bone, everyone would likely have taken it as normal, but being a transfer student with average family background and low-class root bone, they formed a stark contrast to such rapid progress. Liu Quanhai, another transfer student, was stunned. He had thought Lu Chenju was just being cunning before. Now, it seemed Liu was the presumptuous one. Fortunately, he hadn't voiced his thoughts outright. Otherwise, he would have played the fool and couldn't even maintain friendships with others. In Hung Fu's office, a water ink painting hung on the wall, titled Black Tiger King Devouring Evil Ghosts, depicting a black tiger in an expressive style, chewing on a green-faced, fierce-appearing ghost. Lu Chenju was captivated by the painting, which oddly reminded him of that burly man. He later checked the official website for the Pingjiang branch. The burly man was named Lu Feng, nicknamed Evil Tiger. Noticing Lu Chenju's interest, Hong Fu asked, "How do you like the painting?" "Very good, very powerful, as if it contained some divine essence." "Not that exaggerated, just a regular painting. I'll give it to you." "I dare not, I merely appreciate it." "It's not any famous masterpiece, hee. I actually painted it myself. I like to draw watering paintings in my free time. I only ever draw tigers." Hong Fu had already rolled up the painting and put it in a scroll. "This..." Lu Chenju hesitated to accept it. "I'm not joking, go ahead and take it." Hong Fu handed it to Lu Chenju, then seated himself at his desk. Lu Chenju asked, "Teacher, do you use painting tigers to comprehend the essence and spirit of the tiger form?" Hong Fu initially wanted to agree. But recalling that Lu Chenju was quite a serious person, he worried that he might take it too seriously and waste a lot of time learning to paint instead of practicing martial arts. "I just love it, like painting tigers and watching them," he said. "Some people indeed can learn some essence of the tiger form from it, but in the end, it still comes down to rigorous training in fist techniques." Lu Chenju suddenly understood. "Thank you, teacher, for clearing my doubts." He held the scroll, waiting for the teacher to ask questions. He naturally didn't plan to paint tigers, as he didn't have that talent. The martial arts tree could only be used for learning martial arts. Nothing else worked, he had tried everything. Hong Fu asked, "I've seen your record. You started learning Black Tiger Fist last October, and by the end of March you reached small success, entered third rank taking 6 months. Am I right?" "Yes. Based on your previous pace of progress, from small success to great success, my earlier analysis was that it would take at least 3 months. Even if you switched to full-time martial arts at a martial arts school and practiced diligently, it would still take about 2 months. How has your state been recently?" "The first time I observed the tiger, I was inspired, and I made significant progress that day. Then, over the past period, I specifically focused on Black Tiger Fist for a few days." "I see, I understand now." Hong Fu's doubts were finally resolved. Inspiration is hard to come by, and you are quite lucky. In his cultivation to become a martial artist, it had only happened to him once. "Yes, I think so too. However, aside from that inspiration, I am very satisfied with your progress, and it's been a long time since I've seen a transfer student who is as diligent in comprehension as you." "You flatter me, teacher." "I plan to report this matter to Yu Zhang. The school should soon put you on the key focus list, and your martial arts supplement treatment will be doubled. Work hard, maintain your current state, or you'll be removed from the list." "Thank you, teacher." Lu Chenju was secretly delighted. Liu Huan had mentioned the key focus list, which currently included only 5 people in the freshman class. Liu Huan, Yuan Zhigang, Jai Changkang, Wen Tianj, 4 major officers, all with 6th rank cultivation, and Huo Tianyu from the Huo family with 5th rank cultivation. There were many in the class who were 4th and 5th rank, but they hadn't been selected. The list values not the current cultivation but the future potential more. Privately, it was called the Almost Genius List. This meant that if you performed excellently in upcoming evaluations, you might skip grades or even enter the university section of Dragon City without taking the university entrance exam, and be placed in the legendary genius class with those top-class talented individuals, which had numerous benefits. Lu Chenju knew that his plan had succeeded again. From having the martial arts tree until now, he had consistently demonstrated his talent, convincing his parents to invest in him, being noticed by Jai Xuantong, and being enrolled in Dragon City High School. Now, he was even included in the Almost Genius list. Step by step, he was solidly climbing to greater heights. He liked the informal title of genius, but he didn't take it too heavily. He just needed national resources and attention to pursue the infinite martial arts. One day, he hoped to meet the Kangshan Dragon King above the clouds. Chachu said, smiling, "Go back, but don't have too high expectations. Whether you can succeed isn't certain, but I think there shouldn't be a problem. Just wait for the school's notice." Dormitory. Lu Chenju reflected on the past month with many emotions. Diligence does pay off, but without the martial arts tree, he could never have reached his current level. He planned to hang the Black Tiger painting in his house. Painted by a martial artist, It contained its spirit and could also be considered a charm to protect the home and provide peace of mind. During dinner, Liu Huan and the others brought their meals over to Lu Chenju. Chenju, I heard your black tiger fist reached great success. Yes, I had a breakthrough a few days ago. That quickly, you're even fiercer than me. It was just good luck, and I've been training hard. Don't be modest, you must be on that list now, right? Not sure yet. Don't worry, based on my experience, you're definitely on it. The others had already metaphorically popped champagne for Lu Chenju. After dinner, Liu Huan reminded him before returning to the dorm. Chenju, remember to check your chi blood. Anyone who has achieved great success in any second-class martial arts and has fourth-rank cultivation can apply to the school to start studying intermediate martial arts early. I learned Bear King Stone Breaking Palm very early. Its power is indeed much greater than the ordinary bear boxing. Hehe, I'm relying on it for next year's martial arts competition. Chapter 55. 55 Genius in Making Xiao Lu. The next morning at dawn, Tiger Garden, Lu Chenju came again to see the black tiger. Accompanied by the morning light, he began practicing the black tiger fist. Ayo! Although the black tiger is a common beast, it has a strong instinctive intuition for danger, feeling that this monkey's strength was already not weaker than its own. Of course, there were monkeys stronger than it here, but none as interesting as this one. Lu Chenju felt a certain invisible barrier being broken, with warm currents flowing into his limbs and bones within his already opened 5 orifices, transforming his body. He looked at the black tiger and smiled. See you, brother tiger. Naturally, the black tiger couldn't understand monkey language. Ayo! The tiger's roar echoed through the mountains and forests. At the mountain's peak, a figure was practicing heavenly pile amidst the clouds and mist. Wang Jidao's lips curled upwards. Hey, this kid, obsessing over martial arts training, even chats with a beast. But I like it. It's been a long time since I've seen such a purely devoted martial arts fanatic. In ancient times, there were quite a few martial arts fanatics. But in modern society, with its complexity and distractions that dazzle the eye, there are too many things people can pursue, and most also practice martial arts for fame and gain. It's not to say it's bad, just not pure. For martial arts, one needs that childlike passion. Take Kangshan Dragon King, for example. Although powerful, he often blurts out some juvenile phrases because his world consists only of higher and stronger martial arts. Chi Blood Measurement Room. Lu Chenju had already completed the basic boxing. Chi Blood Value, 2.07. Congratulations, you have reached the 4th rank standard. Not bad, just entered the 4th rank. In a few days, he could go learn second-class martial arts from Teacher Hong. Head teacher's office. Yu Zheng seemed like a giant bear, each move shaking the mountains, hitting a thick steel pile in front of him causing thumping sounds. Each fist imprint created and then smoothed out formed a kind of subtle harmony, eventually leaving the steel pile almost as good as new, truly a miracle. The phone rang. It was from the Dragon City Qualification Review Committee. Yu Zheng picked it up, his face somewhat expectant. Commissioner Wang, how is it? Yu Zheng, I've approved the key focus list application for Lu Chenju. From now, keep a good watch on this person. If he turns out to be a flash in the pan, be quick to cancel. These years, the policy has tightened and resources are strained. It's tough for everyone. I've also studied carefully. He seems to be an inspiration case with potential depleted through swift breakthroughs, and this is not sustainable. Moreover, if he fades after a few years of joining, without even becoming a martial artist, wouldn't that lower the standards of Dragon City Martial Arts University? The caller had quite a bit to say. Judging by the tone, he wasn't very optimistic about Lu Chenju. Perhaps, as a staff member in this field, he had seen too many such cases. The Martial Arts Department has specific evaluation criteria for martial arts university performance, the most important being the proportion of recruited talents becoming martial artists within a specified timeframe. This is a critical factor determining the level of the martial arts university. Hence, the top martial universities have always had very limited admission quotas, always selecting the best of the best. Even those with merely intermediate root bones cannot easily secure a place. Received, thank you, Commissioner Wang. I will continue to observe. Yu Zheng hung up the phone and asked his assistant to call Lu Chenju. Soon after, Lu Chenju arrived at the office. Hello, teacher. Yu Zheng asked Lu Chenju to sit down and with a solemn and earnest tone said, Teacher Hong Fu recommended you for the key focus list at the Martial Arts University headquarters, and the school has approved it. Actually, the person in charge wasn't very optimistic about you, fearing that you might be a flash in the pan. I also had to talk a lot to convince them. From now on, your martial arts supplement resources at the school will double, and you will also have the right to 5 hours a week of private lessons for tutoring. Remember to use that. Perform well and bring honor to our Sioux City branch, or I'll lose face when I go out. Lu Chenju felt joyful inside and thanked him. I will definitely work doubly hard and will not let the school down. But don't overexert your body either. Martial arts is a marathon. I understand. Keep it up. If you don't perform well later, you will be kicked out. By the way, have you measured your chi blood recently? I observe your aura. You should have entered the 4th rank. I have 4th rank. Keep it up. Yu Zheng patted Lu Chenju's shoulder in encouragement. He was in a great mood. This year's freshman class was brimming with talents, including 4 major officers, descendants of great families and up-and-comers like Lu Chenju. On the way to the medical room to collect martial arts supplements, Lu Chenju felt relaxed. Indeed, special talents receive special treatment, having 5 extra hours of tailored lessons every week. The second-class martial arts I am about to learn will have personal guidance from teacher Cha Chihu. Progress should be fast, but this isn't the endpoint. I can still do better. Lu Chenju was still not satisfied with his comprehension. If he could stack divine seed with comprehension talent, someday top class, root bone, would be mere fluff to him. Lu Chenju, right? Yes. Here are this month's 4 boxes of Qi Boosting 1. Additionally, you can come here on the 25th of each month to collect a box of bone-strengthening granules. Please give me your student card. Thank you. After collecting the medicine, Lu Chenju dashed back to the dormitory. They even included bone-strengthening granules, which is a high-end product worth 30,000 a box and is said to effectively promote bone growth and slightly increase Qi blood. Since his enrollment, apart from the free Qi Boosting 1 he garnered from school and Jai Chuantong, he had never bought any other medicines. He opened the medication instructions. Developed by Martial Medicine Factory No. 6 and the Heavenly Doctor team from Galaxy University, this martial arts supplement is made from the raw materials extracted from various herbs including worm-branded mushroom, blood cover, jade goji, and 9 other herbs. A box contains 14 granules. Take 1 each during yin and yu times. Consumption should be followed by practicing fist techniques or heavenly pile to facilitate digestion and absorption, which can increase Qi blood. After reading it, Lu Chenju contemplated. Galaxy University is indeed impressive. These basic martial arts supplements constituted a massive industry. With Qi Boosting 1 occupying a big market share, Martial Medicine Factory No. 6 and Galaxy University as beneficiaries were making a fortune. Lu Chenju somewhat aspired to be at Galaxy University. Schools with money provide better welfare for students, a simple truth. Among the 24 schools, Galaxy University was the most unique, as the other 23 schools had deep cultural heritages and legacies, shadows of the old times. Only Galaxy University was pieced together with national efforts after the establishment of the new Dazia. It embraced diversity, not confining itself to any Taoist faction. Other schools, more or less, retained some old habits. Perhaps even the Dragon King Kangshan chose this school for this very reason, harboring a bit of a wild and unrestrained character. After taking the bone-strengthening granules, Lu Chenju immediately began practicing heavenly pile. Soon, he felt his bones itch all over, as if something was squirming uncomfortably. This sensation made an already painful heavenly pile cultivation even more excruciating. Lu Chenju could only grit his teeth and endure. A grueling hour passed, his mind prompted. Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile. Pile No. 6, 15%. Right Arrow Pile No. 6, 16%. Lu Chenju then relaxed his body and slightly gasped for breath. He had fully absorbed the effects of the bone-strengthening granules and went to the Qi blood measurement room to test again, finding his Qi blood had reached 2.081. The increase in Qi blood is too slight, barely better than nothing, definitely not worth 30,000. Plus, the effect of any martial arts supplement diminishes with increased usage, making it even less worthwhile. All medicines have their toxicity. These supplements can't be consumed excessively. Its effect on increasing Qi blood is negligible. In martial arts cultivation, there are no shortcuts, only practice. Lu Chenju weighed his options and found the cheaper chi boosting one more cost-effective. This was the mentality of someone who wasn't wealthy. If he were rich, as long as something could increase chi blood, he wouldn't care about the cost and would just splurge on the medicine regardless of its cost-effectiveness. The Martial Arts Academy exchange competition was just 13 days away, and Lu Chenju, now at the 4th rank, planned to get the Void Blade qualification certificate before the competition. Should he encounter the most common void things, he wouldn't be helpless. Thinking about it, he had never actually seen a void thing up close. His luck in this aspect seemed always good. Chapter 56. Practice is hard, success is honored. May 14th. Fangshan was forever shrouded in clouds and mist, with intermittent light rain falling, and the symphony of tiger roars from the zoo and the faint sound of dragon chants from the mountain peaks formed a majestic and deep chorus. Of course, there were no dragons in this world. Lu Chenju, who was watching the tigers in front of the tiger garden, knew that it was Master Wang breathing, and that the dragon chanting might be related to the cultivation technique he was practicing, but the specifics remained a mystery. As for the clouds and mist covering the mountain top, it must also have something to do with the Grandmaster. Shiruyu had said that the innate breath rises from all 84,000 pores of the body, forming clouds and steaming mists. For a Grandmaster of his stature, covering this small mountain peak was nothing, as if it were the trace of an immortal. After their daily roaring, the black tigers would start to nap. Lu Chenju had already observed Tiger Brother, and after consuming bone-strengthening granules here, he practiced the black tiger fist and the mountain-crossing body for an hour but, unfortunately, did not experience any inspiration. It had been half a month since the last time he felt that state. This kind of luck-based progress was truly unstable. He looked towards the martial arts tree. Martial art. Black tiger fist, great success 12%. Mountain crossing body, mastery 30%. Swallow return fist, proficient 91%. Sea sweeping body, mastery 66%. Cultivation technique. Dragon and tiger heavenly pile, 6th rank 43%. After reaching great success, the percentage of progress for the black tiger fist had slowed down. It wasn't that Lu Chenju's cultivation was slow, but rather that the proficiency required to increase by 1% at this stage was too much, and this was still with the slight comprehension boost from the divine seed of no regrets. Under his current regular state, he could only increase by 1% a day. In other words, he could reach perfection around August. To raise a third-class martial art to the perfect realm in less than a year was the pinnacle for someone with intermediate root bone. Mountain crossing body had made rapid progress. With the pairing of the great success level black tiger fist during training, the effects were superb. The last swallow return fist and sea sweeping body were standard. After all, his primary focus was on the tiger form fist technique. Dragon and tiger heavenly pile was still progressing at about 3% a day, and Lu Chenju continued to increase the time and intensity of his heavenly pile cultivation to ensure that he opened a rank each month. Today was a day of rest. He had arranged to have a private lesson with Hong Fu, planning to learn a new martial art. Hong Fu's private martial arts room. Not bad, you've reached the 4th rank, huh? Hong Fu looked full of admiration. No need for idle chatter, just keep training hard and aim to enter the genius class directly in college. As for second-class martial arts, are you sure you want to mainly focus on the tiger form next? Hong Fu's gaze was serious. Lu Chenju replied earnestly. I've been practicing black tiger fist for a year, and I find the ferocity and agility of the tiger form to be the most harmonious, capable of both attack and defense, a perfect fit for me. So I'm sure that I want to focus on the tiger form. Hong Fu said, the way of the elephant form is vast and profound, and unquestionably the most powerful is the dragon form, a creature of legend that can summon the wind and rain and travel through clouds and mist, omnipotent. But after the dragon form, which one is second? Since ancient times, there have been many opinions among the 100 schools of thought. Some say that the bear form has unparalleled strength. Some say the leopard form is ever-changing. Some say the crane forms extend life. Some say the snake form kills with its coils. Some say the ape form fits the human shape. But in my view, after the dragon form, it's the tiger form that is the second form. The tiger is the king of all beasts, and there has always been talk of dragons and tigers contending, dragons ascent and tigers leap, and many other sayings. The tiger is the only creature among the ordinary beasts that stands shoulder to shoulder with the dragon and phoenix. Lu Chenju, you have quite the eye. Hong Fu's words, of course, carried a certain self-promoting tone, as if a peddler were praising his own melons, but it wasn't entirely without basis. Overall, among the forms, each has its strengths and weaknesses. Still, the number of cultivators of the tiger form is absolutely the greatest, so choosing the one with the most followers is never wrong. Hong Fu then said with all seriousness, "What I Cha Chihu may lack in other areas, I confidently claim that, in the realm of tiger form mastery, in the Fangshan region aside from Master Wang, I am second to none." Lu Chenju couldn't help but interject. "Teacher, you got that backward." Hong Fu coughed and continued. "From my youth, I loved tigers and would often engage in forum debates about whether lions or tigers were stronger. Whenever I was out-argued by others, I secretly vowed to make tiger form the number one in the world. I wanted to prove that the tiger is indeed the king of all beasts. So once I became a martial artist, I focused on learning various tiger form fist techniques. To this day, I've mastered 24 types of tiger form fists, from Mei to Shaolin, from North China to Min Nan. Heh heh heh. I've learned almost all common martial arts." "So what do you want to learn?" Hong Fu crossed his arms over his chest, inwardly pleased. Every time a student came to him to learn tiger form fist, he would boast about this legendary experience. Lu Chenju felt that Cha Chihu was quite a character. Passionate about tigers, giving his all, how could such a person not excel at tiger form fist? The tiger purity of the big black tiger in the zoo probably couldn't even compare with his. "Teacher, I don't know which are considered second-class tiger form fists." Hong Fu began to introduce them, talking at length. "Here I have Tiger Supreme Fist, Tiger and Crane Dual Form Fist, Tiger Fighting Skill, White Tiger Fist, May Mountain Tiger Fist, these 5. However, Tiger and Crane Dual Form Fist is tough to practice without a foundation in Crane Form's Fist, so I wouldn't recommend it. Tiger Supreme Fist originates from Shaolin, with rigidness overcoming rigidness, meeting force with force, breaking force with force, and turning extreme rigidity into softness. It's hard to cultivate and is highly regarded among those who succeed. Should you reach perfection, combined with your heavenly pile foundation, you should have hopes to break through 7, and develop a tiger venerate Hua realm strength that is both rigid and soft, belonging to the second-class martial arts, but particularly difficult to practice. Tiger fighting skill comes from the snowy forests and plains of northeastern Guangdong, the exclusive martial art of the olden times Guangdong nobility. With lots of crafty tigers in the northeast, tiger fighting skill was created from the long-term practical experience of local martial artists as an extremely practical combat martial art. White Tiger Fist is an Ime martial art, the foremost among the 5 tiger fists of Ime, later adapted and optimized by the Martial Arts Association into 36 killing moves. The white tiger is a heavenly constellation, and among the 4 symbols, it represents killing. The fist technique is fierce and powerful, but it's like killing 1,000 enemies at the cost of losing 800 of your own. May Mountain Tiger Fist is rather old-fashioned, originating from hunters in the May Mountain region. Its power is intermediate, and it shares similarities with tiger fighting skill, which makes it pretty decent too. If you want my recommendation, definitely Tiger Supreme Fist. Besides it, even if the other second-class tiger form martial arts are perfected to the highest degree, they reach at most 6th rank, with no hope of breaking 7, let alone comprehending the Hua realm. Tiger and Crane Dual Form Fist can too, but you lack the foundation in crane forms. Chen Yuan from the senior 3rd grade class has been cultivating this fist technique and has already reached perfection. He dual cultivates both tiger and crane forms. After some deliberation, Lu Chenju said, "Teacher, I'll choose Tiger Supreme Fist." Hong Fu snapped his fingers. "Then let's begin cultivating Tiger Supreme Fist, but be emotionally prepared. As one of only 2 martial arts here capable of breaking through the 7th rank of the 2nd class, the difficulty of Tiger Supreme Fist is at the very highest echelon, below only Black Tiger Fist in the 1st-class martial arts. If it turns out to be too hard to get started, we can switch to something simpler, no shame in that." "Okay, I'll give it a try." Lu Chenju had a martial arts tree. No matter how difficult the fist technique, with hard work, he could master it. Hong Fu assumed his stance and jumped onto the wooden pile. Tiger Supreme Fist has no accompanying movement technique, but mountain crossing body, as the mainstream movement technique of tiger form, connects seamlessly with most tiger form fists. You're not a beginner anymore, so when learning fists techniques from now on, you should start with integrating movement techniques for practical combat. Lu Chenju transformed into a black tiger and pounced onto the pile. Teacher, let's start. Good, watch closely. However, Hong Fu's form was like that of a tiger. His expression was fierce, and from his mouth came a faint sound resembling a tiger's roar. His demeanor was terrifying, such that even a demon would fear him by 3 parts. Tiger Supreme Fist begins with an aggressive stance that suggests biting at the throat and baring teeth, with tiger jaws and killing eyes, intimidating others with tiger prowess. When practicing this kind of fist, you must let go, never minding the judgments of convention. Then Hong Fu began to yell and roar as he practiced the fist technique. To an ordinary person, this would seem bizarre. But Hong Fu felt extremely dashing, proudly saying, "Remember, the steps should be 3 parts forward, 7 parts back to form the horse stance. The steps should not be inflexible but follow the yin-yang steps. The hand shapes should primarily be tiger claw, tiger palm, and tiger fist, ensuring the power of the punch reaches the very tips." Chapter 57. 57. Hitting a person penetrates to the marrow. Hitting a tree penetrates 3 inches into the wood. In the martial arts room, Lu Chenju rigorously followed Hong Fu on the wooden post, practicing his punches. Before he realized it, an hour had passed. Drenched in sweat, he looked towards the martial arts tree, but no new martial arts techniques had appeared. This time, he experienced the difficulty of Tiger Supreme Fist. If it were any other third-rate tiger form fist, with his current foundation in tiger form, he could have mastered it within an hour. He was not discouraged. Instead, he felt even more excited. Hong Fu was in high spirits and was not yet satisfied with his practice. He felt that Lu Chenju was learning faster than he had expected. This student really had excellent comprehension. Indeed, he was teachable. He took the initiative to ask, "Have you used up your 5 hours of one-on-one lessons this week yet? I've been saving them, hoping to learn a new fist technique from you." Hong Fu was overjoyed and chuckled. "Then let's continue. Are you tired?" "Not tired, not satisfied." "Very good. Then let's keep going at it until you reach your limit. If you can master Tiger Supreme Fist today, I'll privately give you 3 extra one-on-one lessons next week. Just don't tell the other students, okay?" Lu Chenju was also brimming with determination. "Thank you, teacher." He was eager to see just how difficult the Tiger Supreme Fist was. Hong Fu, like him, purely loved martial arts, and even more so, he was solely passionate about Tiger Form Fist. The two shared a mutual appreciation for each other's dedication. Lu Chenju was very fortunate. Up to this point in his martial arts training, Shi Ruyu, Jai Xuantong, and Hong Fu all were excellent seniors. They influenced Lu Chenju's martial arts values with their words and deeds. In the path of martial arts, a teacher is very important. It's often said that the master leads you to the gate, but cultivation depends on the individual. But leading to the gate is actually the most difficult part. Hong Fu, as a martial artist, appeared to have endless energy. The more he fought, the more excited he became, demonstrating and explaining the essentials of Tiger Supreme Fist to Lu Chenju. Punch fiercely like hammering iron, claw fiercely like a tiger grabbing its prey, chop fiercely like an axe splitting wood, jab fiercely like a chisel piercing wood. Each strike is a deadly move formed from your combat instincts. Strike people to penetrate their bones, hit the tree so it splits in 3. The core idea of Tiger Form Fist, which never changes, is the fierceness of a tiger. Moreover, this fist technique is for close combat and short hits. In a real fight, be aware of your body position. If the enemy advances, I retreat. If the enemy retreats, I tangle. Maintain a distance of 1 arm and 1 leg. Boom! Suddenly, Hong Fu pounced like a fierce tiger clawing, and Lu Chenju dodged to the right, only to see Hong Fu's claws deeply embedded in the hanging wooden post. The wooden post swayed in midair, penetrated by the tiger claws. Hong Fu's momentum was fierce. Amidst his ferocity, there was a hint of an adolescent-like spirit as he said, "Lu Chenju, this is the momentum of a tiger." Lu Chenju nodded, pulling his startled mind together. Hong Fu continued, "Do not be timid. The weak cannot cultivate Tiger Form Fist. Continue." Thus, the master and the student practiced from morning to noon in the martial arts room, not caring about lunch. Lu Chenju felt he was close to mastering it. Hong Fu sensed it too and shouted, "Push a little harder. Don't worry about the lessons today. As long as you can keep up, I will stay with you until you master Tiger Supreme Fist. Lu Chenju, can you do it? I can do it. Whether it was the wooden posts stuck in the ground or those hanging from the ceiling, a forest of heavy, rocking posts filled the room, like a tiger teaching its cub to run and hunt in the mountains and forests. It was now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Lu Chenju could no longer hold on, but Hong Fu was still as lively as a dragon. He looked at Lu Chenju and smiled. Congratulations, you have mastered the Tiger Supreme Fist. Lu Chenju bowed deeply. Thank you, teacher. No need to thank me. I wish everyone in the world would learn Tiger Form Fist. I'm going to eat now. You rest a bit and then go have something to eat. Make sure to lock the office door when you leave. Hong Fu waved his hand and strode away. Lu Chenju sat cross-legged among the wooden posts to regulate his breath. The teacher is really kind. Today, he in fact used 7 lesson periods, exceeding by 2 sessions. Ordinary teachers would never spend their time so freely. He looked towards the martial arts tree. Tiger Supreme Fist, beginner 4%. Teacher's cafeteria. Hong Fu was eating alone. The other teachers had already finished. Yu Zheng walked in and asked, "Why are you eating so late?" Hong Fu smiled. "I was teaching Lu Chenju the fist technique, Tiger Supreme Fist, this morning." "How did it go?" "Including the rest time, it took 7 hours to master." "Not bad. How long did it take you initially?" 2 hours. But before I started learning Tiger Supreme Fist, I had already mastered 5 perfect level Tiger Form Fists. My foundation is much stronger than his. This Lu Chenju might really be a gem. By the way, why are you eating so late? This morning, I helped the Sioux City police smash a Holy Master sect hideout, earned a little extra cash. You're still young, you wouldn't understand the pain of middle-aged men providing for their family. Ha ha ha, if I had a son as promising as Yu Shan, I'd also be motivated to make money. Speaking of which, this evil calamity is becoming more rampant. A lot of Sioux City's forces have gotten dragged into the Tehu whirlpool, and some people just want chaos, trying to make themselves noticed. Cults, they should be killed. 4 in the afternoon. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. After lunch, Lu Chenju came here. Senior brother Lu is back. Senior brother Lu, long time no see. Senior brother Lu seems even stronger. The student stopped to greet Lu Chenju. Long time no see. Lu Chenju, 4th rank, returned home, feeling as if he was riding the wind. Soon, Qin Zheng also arrived at the Martial Arts Academy from home, eager to see Chenju, the star of tomorrow. Chenju, you've gotten more robust, you've grown taller, haven't you? Qin Zheng wasn't very tall and was sensitive about height. Yes. Damn, I'm so envious. You progress so fast in martial arts training and you're tall too. When are you reaching 3rd rank, Mr. President? If I can reach 3rd rank before the college entrance exam, that'd be great. You think everyone is like you. You must have also made rapid progress recently, reached 1.8 in Chi blood, right? Qin Zheng casually asked, but seeing Lu Chenju's hesitant face, his heart jumped. Knowing his character, it was very likely already 1.9. You're not at 1.9, are you? Weren't you just 3rd rank at the end of March? Qin Zheng asked again. Just as Lu Chenju was about to speak, Qin Zheng exclaimed, "Holy crap, did your Chi blood break through too, monster?" Lu Chenju held up 4 fingers. I'm at 4th rank." Qin Zheng was silent for a while. 4th rank. Jake Xuantong, who had emerged at some point, rebuked. Why making a fuss over nothing? Qin Zheng said, reporting, "Sir, Lu Chenju is at 4th rank." Jake Xuantong was also shaken internally, but continued expressionlessly. "Continue training, Lu Chenju, come with me." His pace was brisk, his spirits visibly lifted by the happy news. The other students gathered around Qin Zheng. "Did you say senior brother Lu is 4th rank now?" "Yes, he said so himself." "Really?" "With his character, I even suspect he's already at 5th rank." The crowd sighed in admiration, full of envy. Du suddenly felt some relief. Chenju and us really aren't in the same world anymore. He had also been training exceptionally hard full-time. But even now, his Chi blood was only at 1.85, far from reaching 4th rank, and comprehending dark force was as hard as ascending to heaven. He knew, this time in the Martial Arts Academy exchange competition, the champion was already beyond doubt. Martial Arts Room. Chenju, are you really at 4th rank now? Yes, teacher. What great medicine did you take at school? None, I just spent more time practicing martial arts training recently, and coupled with a recent moment of inspiration, water flowed and a channel formed. I comprehended Black Tiger Dark Strength. Good, good, Chenju, you haven't disappointed me. Jai Chuantong smiled broadly, a stark contrast to his usual reserved demeanor. Having run a martial arts academy for so many years, he had never encountered such a talent before. By the way, did you come here for anything specific? I just came to see you. My parents would like to invite you for a meal when you have time. I also wanted to consult you about the qualifications for the Void Blade assessment. Jai Chuantong was in a good mood and replied, No need for a meal, I appreciate your sentiment. About the assessment, I'll call your senior sister over. I have an intermediate certificate, you can only take the beginner level now.